Welcome to ChessBase Magazine 178. The top tournaments of this issue are the Grenke Chess Classics, where Levon Aronian won, second world champion Magnus Carlsen and Fabiano Caruana, and Levon Aronian has annotated his win against Arkady Naiditsch in detail, but again I had to delete almost all annotations due to the space limitations of the video format. Then the US Championship won by Wesley So after tiebreak match against Alexander Onyshuk. The Gashimov Memorial won by Shahryar Mamedyarov. And there are furthermore a lot of annotated games from Zurich, won by Nakamura, and from Poikovsky, where Sutovsky won. But let's have a short look at Aronian Naiditsch. How did Aronian continue his initiative with white to move? Yeah, he has to act to profit from it, and he decided to sacrifice an exchange to start a very dangerous attack, and it was really very fascinating, even deep into the fascinating opposite colored bishop ending. So study his annotations, variations, and words in detail. Yeah, from the Gashimov Memorial I want to mention this fascinating fight between Vladimir Kramnik and Harikrishna, annotated by Tiger Hiller Person. And Black has good trump cards here with his strong center, and Kramnik found the best chance to fight on in a practical game, but a whole rook really is a lot, so it should not really be sufficient. But try to defend first yourself and then look at Tiger's annotations on the DVD. And finally, Sutovsky-Korobov from Poikovsky. How did Emil Sutovsky crown his attack? And it's really a hallmark of the great attackers that they have a sharp eye for the safety and role of their own king. And so he moved his king out of the way so that the queen can enter the attack, whereas decisive effect in Korobov resigned. There are 12 opening surveys. A new author is International Master Renato Quintiliano from Brazil, who looks at the King's Indian line. Yeah, Nadezhda Kozintseva looks at the following sideline of the French Vinaver. Knight Ge2, she looks at many aspects of it, and I want to mention Firuzja Kazimjanov, where Black demonstrated one way to act against it, leading to sharp play when both sides castle on opposite wings, and this is a really interesting position. White wants to attack on the king side, and Black can now play knight f6 like Kazimjanov did, or b5, as also analyzed by Nadezhda Kozintseva, to directly counter the attack on the other wing, and this of course leads to sharp, interesting and fascinating play. But of course Black has many other options against knight g2, and they are also dealt with. Next, this is a French issue in a way. Georgios Zolaitis looks at the following surprise weapon against the French: bishop d3, and this is really more dangerous than it looks, and it scores very well for white, and there's not so much Syria on it, and you can hope that the black players have not so much experience with this relatively rare side line. But it does make some sense, and here Vladimir Onyshuk won against Arun Prasad, for example, analyzed in detail by Georgios Zolaitis. Yeah, and Michael Marin looks at trends in the Vinavar French. So really a lot of French questions in this issue. And I want to mention Elyanov Naiditsch, where Pavel Elyanov brought a very interesting novelty in one of the Vinavar main lines with castling short. The other big main line would be queen c7. And yeah, here this is all very often played. White provokes g6 so that the dark squares are weakened. Black will achieve e5, but the dark squares and the d5 pawn will feel weak after Elyanov's very strong novelty bishop e2. So Yeah, and then Marine looks at many other such new novelties, trends in the Vinava French, so look at his article if you play the Vinava or if you need a weapon against it with white. There are opening videos. Erwin Lamy made an update on his DVD, The Modern Two Knights, which was published 2 years ago. Yannick Pelletier looks at the Catalan from White's point of view, the idea from Aronian Giri with knight a3 in the 8th move. Shirov looks at the Grünfeld Indian with, in the 4th move, c takes d5, knight takes d5, and now in the 5th move, bishop d2 from White's point of view. And as bonus, Nihal Zareen looks at many opening traps, and yeah, there is more on the Wonder Boys or Wunderkinder in German in this issue. Furthermore, in the columns, Evstratios Grifas in the new FIDE Training Academy looks at the driving, and meaning the following motive: white to move and win, rook f8 check, and then the surprising queen h7 forces White's king into the knight fork. A real nightmare for black. In the endgame section, I look at endgames of the Wunderkinder. Here, Eduardas Rosenthal against Nihal Zareen, Stockholm 2016, and black played knight c4. And then came the real point. Bishop takes h4, leading to a more or less winning endgame. Yeah, in the game, a knight endgame resulted, which Nihal Zareen converted with good technique. And by the way, he has also made recorded a video on his win against Matthias Blübaum in the Sharjah Open 2016. Also don't miss this. Mihail Marin in his strategy column looks at typical aspects of the fight in the center in the Naidov structure, and this is meaning the d6 e5 structure. And here Anatoly Karpov gives an instructive lesson against John Nunn, Amsterdam 1985, starting with knight c1 and then improving everybody in typical Karpovian style and then converting due to the weak light squares in black's camp. But of course, Marin also looks at examples where black was more active and was able to use the aspects of the structure in his favor. In the move-by-move column, Simon Williams looks at Shirov Hambleton from the Reykjavik Open 2017, Taimanov Sicilian from black's point of view, where Hambleton managed to beat Alexei Shirov, and solve all the questions yourself first, of course, and only then look at the solutions. This, of course, is also valid for the tactics column by Oliver Ray, lurking bishops, Tabata by Vakidov, white to move, and wake up the lurking bishop g3, knight takes c5 check, d6, rook f7, and Vakidov resigned. And really solve all the technical exercises yourself first. Then I especially wanted to mention the starting page of the ChessBase Magazine. There, Dorian Rogosenko has his classics column. This time he looks at the famous Cohen-Rubinstein, especially, of course, as at the pawn endgame. Don't miss that. And Nihal Zareen's video can only be accessed from this starting page of the ChessBase Magazine. And finally, 8 opening traps by Rainer Knack. I have selected Barbero Zendic Cruz from the Catalunya Team Championship, Scotch opening, sideline knight ge7, and now comes already a losing mistake. How does white win? And in the main line are really beautiful made results, so solve this yourself first and only then look at Rainer Knack's solutions on the DVD. And now I wish you a lot of fun with ChessBase Magazine 178.